What's up, guys? Zeenigami here. We're at the first day, well, the first day for me. It's Saturday at Comicpalooza, and we're having some fun. Alright guys, my name's Zeenigami. We're here at Comicpalooza with Miguel with Dreadnought. What is Dreadnought?
So, Dreadnought is our 5v5 competitive space game. I mean, we wanted to make it really straightforward, nothing too daunting, because, you know, people hear space games and they're like, oh man, it's going to be a doozy, right? Bunch of controls. Nah, this is really straightforward. If you're into space games, you're not, give it a shot. I'm sure it's going to be up your alley.
So you had the smallest class ships that are the Scouts, and the largest one are the Dreadnoughts. And I don't believe you restricted. You could run into the team of full Dreadnoughts, right?
Yes, that's true. That's true. I mean, there's you can totally stack your teams as much as you want. You can use any strategy you like. But the Scouts, known as the Corvettes, actually, they're the fast, you know, very agile ships. But I mean, if you just want to tease people, if you just want to harass them, you can do that. There's no limit to what you use to stack. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not going to be something where you're only limited to one class. Strategy is up to the players, and it's however they want to approach it.
Yeah, I had fun using the Scout. Scout has cloak. It has a speed boost. I can go behind the big Dreadnoughts, and you only can see. Yeah, it's a third-person view of the ship.
Yeah.
And you get a 180 degree of that third-person view.
Exactly.
So the Scout, you get behind the big Dreadnoughts. It takes them like an entire minute to turn around to shoot you. By then, I can cloak and get out of there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. All the ships have their own unique abilities for it, to be exact. You can customize your abilities, your ship, completely, the way it looks, the way it works, your captain even. We're trying to really give the player the role of knowing that this is your ship, you are your captain, and you just do what you want to do and you play it out in the way you want to play it out. And it's really cool knowing that, you know, we have all these unique abilities and all these ships have their own unique abilities. And like you said, you got to use them to your advantage. I mean, you want to make sure that all four of those abilities are used at the right time. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to just let it hang out and just don't use them. I mean, because it really turns the tide of the game, man.
Yeah.
The afterburner stuff is really, really important with the Corvette.
So, you guys are in Houston.
Yes.
Dreadnought is currently in closed beta.
Yes.
When is open beta going to happen?
So open beta, I'm sure we're going to be announcing some point this year. Later this year.
All right. And release and price point?
It's actually going to be free to play.
Awesome.
Free to play. So I mean, if you're actually here at Comicpalooza, we're actually passing out codes with the closed beta. It gives you access right now. The closed beta is indefinite up until open. So I mean, you basically own the game.
So with free to play, what's your business going to be like? Am I going to buy skins? Am I going to buy new weapons? What am I going to buy?
We've always been really careful and cautious about the whole, you know, pay to win formula. We definitely don't want anything to do with that. We're definitely focusing more on like the appearance aspect of things, on things you want to make your ship look like. We don't want to focus on, you know, weapons and abilities, because that's just not right.
Yeah,
we're not fans of stuff like that. So, you know, we just want to make sure that, you know, if you want to buy specific coding, you know, we have an in-game currency. We're also going to have an X-game, you know, external currency as well. But I mean, you can totally just get what you want to make your ship look the way you want it to. Just kind of show off your personality, make it look terrifying, make it look cute, pink, bubbly if you want it. You know what I mean? If you want to be a nice-looking, gigantic Dreadnought that's
beautiful, flowery Dreadnought.
Oh yeah, or a nice Pepto-Bismol pink. Yeah, man, you can totally do that and just wreck the team. Just make them feel pretty terrible about themselves.
All right, thank you very much, Miguel.
Awesome, man. Anytime.
What's up, guys? I'm here with
Jake.
Jake. What is First Robotics?
First Robotics is a competition where we get 6 weeks to build and design a robot from scratch based on different games, usually based around sports.
So what is your team name?
Texas Torque.
And what's the idea of your robot? I know I see a lot of designs here, some of them are trying to shoot things. What are you guys trying to do?
Well, ours shoots boulders. It's got an incredibly loud flywheel shooter, so basically a wheel spins and forces the ball through a hole. And it's got very large pneumatic wheels that help it get over some obstacles on the field.
All right, thank you.
Awesome.
Comicpalooza's got an entire gaming over here. We've got gaming competitions from Smash to Overwatch and a bunch of new cool indie games. A lot of them are still very, very indie. A couple even student projects here. Well, maybe we'll take a look at them. All right, guys, I'm here with Sean with Extra Life. Sean, what's Extra Life?
Extra Life is a gaming charity. We do marathons every year for 24 hours, sometimes 25, like this year, thanks to Daylight Savings Time. We raise money playing games. You can get sponsored like $1 an hour, flat donations. All the money goes straight to the Miracle Network. And for instance, in town, it's Texas Children's.
And when is Extra Life this year?
Extra Life is on November the 5th this year. That's a Saturday. The official time is from 8 in the morning to 8 in the morning on Sunday, but you can come in and out, play 12 hours, play 8 hours, do it over a couple of weekends, pretty much any way you want to do it.
And I will be doing a 24-hour stream for Extra Life too. And what is all this that we have going on here?
So today we're doing what's called Cardhalla, and we're building card houses in preparation for Cardnarok, which is exactly what it sounds like, Ragnarok. We're going to be destroying all these houses for donations.
Well, that sounds cool. Thank you.
Excellent.
Here you see the North American nerd in its natural environment, sustaining itself off of a diet of mostly pizza and Mountain Dew. The North American nerd, it's a timid and quiet creature, but when scared and provoked will often flare its arms and release a foul stench and loud noises to help to intimidate its predators. Even Dota 2's made it out to Comicpalooza. What's up, guys? I'm here with Cameron. Cameron, what's your game?
Well, my game is Take Point, the E-Colors game. It is a tower defense game similar to Clash of Clans and Minecraft, but unlike both games that are top-down, like Clash of Clans, it actually is a game that's third-person, like Legend of Zelda. It is a game that is based around your personality, and it requires you to work with other people's personality completely differently than others. So say if you were someone like me who likes to think, likes to talk a lot, as you can see, you wouldn't be able to work as well with people that who like to think and sit back and make games themselves. So in reality, the game itself requires you to work together to build defenses that are totally with people totally different than you.
So what about Dungeon Defenders? It's a 4-person game, right?
Yes.
So how about Dungeon Defenders? How does it compare to that one?
So those Dungeon Defenders has a similar gameplay style where you walk behind and you see only your character. The difference between us and them is that Dungeon Defenders is like most co-op games where you are different by character, but not different by totally different personalities. In our game, the gameplay principles we try to set is to actually make it to where you are thinking about how different people would behave within the game, so that the game itself is specialized based upon your personality and based upon their personality. That would actually give you a different. So say my personality gets a better trap than the personalities of another. So if we need to have both traps, we would have to figure out where we want to put both traps together. And it's totally different in the sense that everything is open to everyone.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What's up, guys? I'm here with Brian. His game is called Spectrum. What's Spectrum?
Spectrum is a game where essentially you are an artist on a canvas and you go through and you toss paint around inside the level, and the paint changes the physical effects. Right now we have green in there, which will go to make the area bouncy, and essentially you make trampolines and springboards. There's also the blue paint where you can go through and you run twice as fast on it. You can go through and you can find these different paints to get different effects, like you can run off a ledge and bounce off the end and get to further areas in the levels.
So imagine like the paint gun from Portal, and well, not the paint gun, but all the different colored paint from Portal giving you little different effects.
Oh yeah.
It's a 2D game. And you guys are actually from University of Houston.
Yep, we're both University of Houston students. We've been through the University of Houston Game Development Program with Dr. Cheng Yoon, and we've gone through the gauntlet. We've pretty much started off from the beginning not knowing anything about game development, and well, now we made it our passion.
Yeah, I also went through the game development courses with you at University of Houston. It's a great course, and best of luck to you guys.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Hey guys, I'm here with Larry. Larry, what is your game?
It's called Guardian Clash. If you ever imagine what it'd be like to fight Superman, I'm not Superman, but Santa Claus versus the Tooth Fairy, or April Showers versus May Flowers, or the Easter Bunny versus the Boogeyman, this is the game for you. So it's been in development for about a year. Having a early beta, early alpha, to have people play it, tell me what they think about it, they like it, they don't, what needs to change about it. I'm trying to get feedback to make this the best game possible.
All right, thank you. So it's been a couple of days since Comicpalooza, and it was lots of fun. It was really great. It was one of my first comic book conventions I've been to. I usually go to a lot of anime conventions, a lot of gaming conventions, but Comicpalooza is first and foremost an American comics convention. There's a lot of American nerdy actors and voice actors and stuff there. Norman Reedus was there, a lot of other famous people there, and there's a huge artist alley. Oh man, the artist alley at Comicpalooza was gigantic. I mean, I thought anime conventions had large artist alleys. This place with like maybe a third of the main convention hall was just for artists at the artist alley, which is really cool. There's a lot of really great artwork there. By far the coolest gaming related booth there was the Dreadnought guys. Dreadnought is a development group here in Houston, so it wasn't that hard for them to get out to Comicpalooza. But the indie game alley was a little disappointing to me. It was, calling it an indie game alley or indie game showcase is a bit of a stretch. There's one game that's just barely announced. That's a game by Tiny Lions. They had the VR headset. They were really tight-lipped about what their game was about. It's basically only showing off. It was more of a VR showcase than anything else. Just a little bow game, which was lots of fun for a bow game. But there's nothing that you could tell about what their game would be. They weren't gonna share stuff about what was going on. They said they got announcements further down the line in months coming up, but that's not really anything to actually show off at Comicpalooza. Then there was Spectrum, which they were really cool to meet because they went through the same university program that I did up at University of Houston. They also went through the game development courses. We had the same professor, Professor Jung, who was a great teacher. They also went through the Microsoft Magic Cup program that I went through and went to finals with back in 2013, actually made as one of the top 4 teams in the United States in game development for that. That was a great experience. I highly recommend if you're in college and you're interested in game development, check out the Microsoft Imagine Cup competition. They've been changing it year after year, and it's probably changed a lot from when I went through it, but it was an amazing experience, great for resumes, great for getting work experience. I wouldn't have traded my time with it for anything else. All the other game groups were very small, barely even startup. There were games that are still searching for that initial funding before they can eat. They're on the, hey, let's try to make a Kickstarter phase, or we're starting the Kickstarter phase. It's very conceptual, barely any sort of working gameplay at all. To call them indie games is a stretch. I would call them indie, I really like this to be a prototype, but it's barely a prototype alley. So, Comicpalooza was cool. If you're there for comics, if you're there for artwork, that's great. There were a lot of competitions there. They had League of Legends, Smash, Overwatch, a lot of games, a lot of big areas up top that are trying to introduce a lot of newer gaming areas into Comicpalooza. So hopefully that section of Comicpalooza will grow. Hopefully we'll see more of that. But this year, you could tell that they were still getting their legs off the ground. You could tell they were still starting out. But I really enjoyed my time at Comicpalooza. I thank them so much for that time there. And hey, hopefully we'll get some more comic conventions and any other gaming convention coverage with you guys. I've been Zeenigami. Y'all stay beautiful.